Morning, campers. Or should that be evening, or even good afternoon? Whatever. It is the time of day somewhere, wherever you are. Welcome back to Rampage with yours truly, Matt Frame, author of The Fate of Douglas Blouse.
What happened so far?
Well, not a lot, because we've only done the prologue, haven't we? Boy, you sure know how to write a prologue. What was the prologue? October 1987, remember? The storm, the great storm of 1987. Michael Fish. Egg on his face. Bloody egg on his face. So yeah, we're going to get into it today with part one, August 1993. I hope you enjoyed the prologue. Stick with it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tell all your friends on them telephones you got. Them wireless telephones. And the turning power has been favourable, mate. So yeah, part one. We're going to do August 1993. Don't dick about. Just get straight into it, son. Okay, so Fate of Douglas Blouse. Part 1, August 1993. Chapter 1, Thursday, August 12th. The caravan had arrived on schedule a week after the Great Storm of 1987, 2 weeks after Bertie Blouse had been on Bullseye. Had it had been delivered the week before, the storm would have ripped it apart. Maybe for Douglas, that would have been for the best. His dad hadn't been around when it was delivered. He had gone by that point. Douglas didn't know why. He also didn't know whether his dad would be coming back. Instead, he had been replaced by a 6-berth Marauder 500. It was in the darkened confines of that caravan, now 2 months shy of its 6-year anniversary, that Douglas Blouse threw his darts, a skill inherited from his father, perhaps the only hereditary talent his father had passed on. He certainly hadn't inherited his dad's gregarious social skills. Far from it. Though capable of wild displays of extrovert behaviour, he was often an awkward young man who had become more reclusive as he progressed through his teens, choosing to spend more of his time in the caravan, listening to heavy metal cassettes, watching borrowed pornographic and horror videos, and playing darts, which in the small hours of a sticky August night he continued to do. The board was positioned just over 7 feet away, hanging from a screw attached to a cupboard door above the banquette seating. The meagre orange light cast by the outside streetlights filtered through the shabby net curtains, barely strong enough to illuminate either the board or the tatty photograph that was pinned to it. His aim was beginning to let him down, but each tungsten-tipped arrow still hit the face of the man in the picture, the man that once upon a time he had called Dad. The picture was pierced with the prick marks of 1,000 darts, the face now beyond recognition. The round red dot of the bullseye showed through from behind the man's forehead like an oversized Hindu bindi. Douglas didn't know exactly when the electricity to the house, and therefore also to the caravan, had gone off, and, unlike after the storm back in 87, when that bloke who said he was God had restored the power to the village, he didn't know when, or even if, it would be coming back on. For unlike back in 87, it wasn't the whole of the southeast of England that was without power, or even the whole of the village for that matter. It was just them, this caravan and the bungalow on whose driveway it was parked. A lengthy white extension cord snaked out from the bungalow's faded brass letterbox, winding its way into the caravan through an open window, all of which were open. The days had been hot lately, and the nights were muggy. The caravan's gloomy interior was stuffy and uncomfortable, something that did little to improve Douglas's mood. The extension cable was of no use anymore, thus rendering the numerous appliances overloading it surplus to requirement. Douglas had manically unplugged them all and posted the useless extension cable back through the letterbox, giving a short, frenzied pull on the door handle as he did so. The house was locked. The small petrol generator he sometimes used as a backup on occasions such as this had run out of juice about 3 hours ago. Poor timing indeed, given he was right in the middle of Night of the Giving Head, the zombie-themed porno film he had borrowed some time ago now from his friend Peter Glass. Still, he didn't have to worry about returning it, or any of the other pirate tapes he had littered around the caravan back to their rightful owner, because Peter was dead, and his fat, alcoholic dad Graham, video bootlegger and ex-darts partner of his own father, wouldn't be venturing out to retrieve them. He barely ever left his armchair. Douglas thought about siphoning some petrol out of the decaying Ford Orion parked next to the caravan, if there was any left in it. Doubtful, considering how many times it had been done previously. The family car hadn't moved in years, and what petrol had been left in the tank had been steadily exsanguinated or evaporated over that time. The last time it had belched fumes from its sawn-off exhaust pipe was when Peter had shown Douglas how to hotwire it. Shame about the generator though, Douglas thought. The zombie-themed porno was just getting to the good bit as well. The hordes of horny undead were banging away at the poorly executed attempt at DIY on the isolated house's doors and windows, carried out by its increasingly terrified, semi-naked occupants. And it was just a matter of time before they broke in and had themselves some fun. He'd seen it plenty of times before, but that was besides the point. Night of the Giving Head was a classic in Douglas's eyes, second only to its sequel, Return of the Giving Head, a very similar offering, only this time set in a hospital. Not that there was much chance of watching either now, he thought, kicking a cupboard in frustration, the stifling heat of the caravan enveloping his wiry frame like a blanket of oppressive humidity. His black jeans felt like they were grafted to his legs. His Number of the Beast t-shirt clung to his back. He kicked the cupboard again, this time making a hole in it. The amusing memory of the porn film had deserted him, just like everyone else had. He continued to pace, throwing darts into the gloomy orange darkness. He emitted a jagged, jittery laugh as he threw the arrows. He could feel the anger rising in his stomach as he looked at the man, what was left of him anyway, in the photograph, as his darts became increasingly wayward. He was alone, and for the first time he really felt it. Dad gone 6 years and now Mum too. The one person he'd always had to rely on had left him as well. He had hit rock bottom. Outside in the still of the night he heard a train. The sound momentarily energised him and he thought he might go down to the railway. That was always fun. A good rush and a welcome distraction from how he was feeling. Rock bottom. He threw another dart as the two words rolled around in his head like Chinese stress balls, an idea forming in his overheated brain. He threw the last of the 3 darts, leaving the 3 arrows grouped satisfactorily together in what was left of his dad's nose. He reached into one of the cupboards above the small table that in the caravan's promotional brochure described itself as the dining area, and grabbed at a sheaf of papers. He smiled, looking at the identical black and white image printed on each page. The strange tittering laugh again escaped him as he thought back to that day in the newsagents when he had been chased out of there by Mr. Qureshi, who had wasted no time in going over the road and reporting him to the police, who had subsequently paid them a visit. Mum defending him as she always did, but she wouldn't anymore. Now he was on his own. Fucking old Bill, Douglas thought, shaking his head and wiping the slick sheen of sweat from his brow. He slapped the wad of papers down on the caravan's dining table, a disturbing smile forming on his lips and a plan now firmly taking shape in his mind. He searched around the messy confines of the caravan for a carrier bag, eventually finding a blue and white striped one, ironically from the newsagents, in a drawer. He put the papers in it, exited the caravan and stepped into the muggy night of the outside world. He looked over at the dark, dormant bungalow, a place that once upon a time, though it was unbelievable to him now, had been their family home. He turned away from it, not caring if he ever saw it again. He started to walk up the lane but turned back, as if suddenly remembering something very important. He re-entered the caravan, picked up the meat cleaver lying on the side next to the television, picked it up and slammed it into the dartboard. Flakes of dry, crusty blood fell from the cleaver's dull, hefty blade, the tiny flakes descending in the orange glow of the caravan's gloomy interior like a shaken snow globe. The board wobbled precariously, pitched forward with the weight of the cleaver and fell to the ground. Douglas emitted a loud, hyena-like laugh, bordering on hysteria, turned and exited the caravan, slamming the door as loudly as he could behind him, hoping to wake up the neighbours. He laughed again and again and decided that he would head for the railway. It was only a stone's throw away after all. Oh, things are heating up. Things are heating up. So, there we go, we're away. Join me next time. I think we're going to go back to Stivy for this one, for the next one. I'm probably going to go and get my deck chair. Go get that deck chair. Probably be on the green again next time I see you. Please join in. I'm going to try and upload videos regularly on a Sunday night. After you've all had your bath and you're nice and clean. Clean as a new pin. After birds of a feather. Yeah, so hopefully tune in for story time Sunday nights before you got to go back to work or school. Bloody hell, bloody graft. Yeah, so to Stivy, baby. See you next time. Rural Rampage. Excuse me, what's the quickest way to Steventon? You walking or driving? Driving? Yeah, that's the quickest way.